Hi everyone. So we were discussing about carbon and its compound. So in the last part, what we have discussed is that carbon, if you observe the atomic number of carbon is what 6. So its valence 6 means what 2. If you write the electronic configuration, what you will get 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. 1s2, 2s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So here, as we have seen, now maximum number of electrons that can be filled in a shell is how many? Its formula is what? 2n square. So first shell is 1 square times 2 over. Second shell, n value is what? N value is 2, 2 to the 4 2s are 8. So total 8 electrons can be filled, but there what we have seen only 4 electrons are filled. Still 4 more electrons are required for the carbon atoms to become stable. So there what we have seen, either a carbon can lose the electrons or it can gain the electron. If it is gaining the electrons, what will happen? More number of electrons will be present, so repulsion will take place more. So it is not possible. So now what is the other chance? Carbon should lose the electrons. If it is losing the electrons, the positive charge, whatever the nucleus is present, they are there, positive charge protons are there, its charge will be increasing. So more amount of heat energy is required to lose the electrons. So either the carbon cannot lose the electron, cannot gain the electron. Only one chance was there, it was sharing of electrons. So sharing of electrons will take place during the bonding time. So what we have seen that whatever the s orbital and the p orbital are there, as I said, in a shell what it is present, subshell will be present. Inside the subshell what it is present, orbitals will be present. S will have s subshell, s orbital. P orbitals will have 3. P subshell has 3 p orbitals, that is px, py, pz. Now here, if you observe the ground state, this will be our s orbital and this will be our p orbital, px, py, pz. If you observe here, there will be a difference in the energy level. Here, energy of the p orbital will be less comparing with the energy of the p orbital. S orbital will be less comparing with the energy of the p orbital. So here, if you observe the bonding, what we have observed that if you take the methane, it is what CH4. If you draw the structure H, H, H and H. So here what can observe, it is carbon is making identical bonding with the hydrogen atom. Same type of bonding, similar bonding. At the same time what we have observed that the bond angle is 109 degrees 20 degrees. If you see anywhere the bond angle will be 109 degrees 28 minutes. Means what? Even though there is a difference in the energies of the orbitals, here what the carbon is making identical bonding. So there may be some other process happening during the bonding time that is making this energy to become equal. What is that process? That is called as hybridization. Now what is meant by hybridization? Now here, before knowing about hybridization, this hybridization concept was made and explained by a scientist. Who is that scientist? Hybridization concept was given by Linus Pauling. Okay, Linus Pauling in the year 1931. Okay, Linus Pauling in the year 1931 has explained the concept of hybridization. Now, what is meant by hybridization? Hybridization is nothing but redistribution of orbitals of almost equal energy, or the redistribution of orbitals of equal energy to form new orbitals which have identical properties. Identical properties like what? Energy and shape. So here, what is the hybridization? Hybridization is nothing but redistribution of orbitals of almost equal energy means, as I said, as comparing with S and the P, S orbital will have a little bit less energy comparing with the P orbital. Almost equal energy will have, but almost equal energy it will have. But S orbital have a little bit less energy comparing with the p orbital. That's what here. What is happening here? If you observe the ground state ground state of electronic configuration or electronic distribution of carbon and ground state. What we can observe here, I will be drawing only the second shell. This is our 2s and this will be our 2p. 2p contain p orbital and p subshell contain orbital px, py, pz. Maximum how many electrons can be filled in the orbitals? It is only 2. Only 2 electrons, maximum 2 electrons can be filled in an orbital. Okay, so here, now whatever the 2n square, it is what? Shell. Okay, maximum number of electrons can be filled in a shell is 2n square. Maximum number of electrons that can be filled in any orbital is only 2. Now this is our ground state. So during hybridization, what is happening there? Redistribution, whatever it is like this, what will happen? In the excited state, will become like this: 2s and 2p, 2s, 2y, 2z. Understood? So here, whatever the orbitals are, the redistribution of orbitals of almost energy is taking place to form a new orbital. New orbitals which have identical properties. When redistribution takes place, all will have equal energy. All will have equal energy and all will have equal shape. That is called as hybridization. So simply there is one more definition. What is this? It is simply says that intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals. Intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals. It was saying that this is our s orbital, this is our p orbital. Intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals, and after reshuffling it forms a new orbitals. As I said, it forms a new orbital. Now these new orbitals are called as what? From that time on, it will be called as hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals. Understood? Here it is called, see, what is the meaning of hybrid? I will be saying here. It is called as what? 2s orbital and this is 2p orbitals. After redistribution means what? Intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals. This is called as what? New orbitals. This is called as new orbitals, which is called as hybrid orbitals. Understood everyone? So here hybridization nothing but intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals. So here why intermixing means whatever the different energy levels are there, it will become what? Same energy levels. And reshuffle, why it reshuffle? Because what is present in there inside the orbitals? Electrons will be present. So in order to avoid these repulsion between the electrons, to get a maximum repulsion, these due to reshuffle, what will happen? It will form in different angles such that electrons are at a different distance. That is the reason reshuffling of orbitals will take place. Understood what intermixing and reshuffling means? What? First it will redistribute, means it intermix the orbitals and it will reshuffle such that all the electrons will be at distance such that repulsion will not take place. Understood? That is called as hybridization. Hybridization nothing but redistribution of orbitals of almost equal energy to form new orbitals which have identical properties like energy and shape. And from that time onwards, we will be not calling it as 2s orbital, 2p orbitals. We will be calling it as hybrid orbital. All we will be calling it as hybrid orbitals. Understood up here what is meant by hybridization? How this methane got identical bonding? How the methane has got identical bonding with the hydrogen due to hybridization. During the hybridization, whatever the different orbitals or different energy levels are there, it will redistribution takes place. All the orbitals will be gaining same equal energy and same shape. That is called as new orbital. Due to that hybridization process only, all the bonding, carbon will be making identical bonding and same angle with the other atoms or the same atoms. Understood what is the hybridization? Let's see one example. There are three types of hybridization. One is sp3 hybridization, sp2 hybridization and sp hybridization. Let's see one by one. Now here, as I said, During the excited state, what I said in the previous class, promotion of electron takes place. So here means that when the atoms come closer during the bonding time, some sort of bond energy is liberated. Due to that bond energy, whatever the electron was there from the 2s orbital, one electron will be entered into the 2pz orbital, such that all the 4 orbitals get 1 electron each. So here in that this is our 2s and this is our 2p. 1 electron, 1 electron, 1 electron, 1 electron. Okay. This is 2p, means what? Px, Py, Pz. Okay. Before this it was empty because there was 2 electrons in the ground state. It was in this way. But during the bonding time, bond energy is liberated. Due to that bond energy, 1 electron will be entered into the Pz orbital such that it contains 4 unpaired electrons, such that it can make 4 bonding with the same atom or with the different atoms. 4 unpaired electrons we have got. Based on what? Based on the Hund's rule. We have been knowing about Hund's rule in the chemical bonding chapter. Hund's rule is nothing but, as I said, for an atom to become stable, either it should become that orbitals, complete orbitals should be filled with all 2 electrons each, or the orbital should be filled with 1 electron each, half filled or full filled. Then only atom will become stable. That's what Hund's rule says about. So it is vacant, it will not become stable, become unstable. That is from 1 electron from the 2s orbital, it will enter into the 2pz orbital. So in that way we have got 4 unhybridized orbitals. Okay. After that, what is happening here? In the excited state, hybridization takes place. After hybridization, what will happen? This is our ground state. During the excited state, what will happen? Redistribution of orbital takes place and all the orbitals attains equal energy. These 2p, this px, Py, Pz. One atom. After hybridization only, electrons will be entered in those orbitals. Okay. Once it is in ground state, at that process what will happen? Hybridization process takes place. All the orbitals will be gaining equal energy. At that time, the electron will be entered into 1 electron into each orbital. So it has got 4 ampere electrons. Now it is called as what? Hybridized orbital. So here what we can observe, 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals are there. Okay, 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals are there. That is the reason it is called as sp3 hybridization, or sp3. The process is called as sp3 hybridization, and that orbitals are called as sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, before the hybridization, we will be calling it as s orbital and px, py, pz, or in that way we will be calling it as. After the hybridization, we will not call it as s orbital, px orbital, py orbital, pz orbital. We will be calling it as sp3 orbital, sp3 orbital, sp3 orbital, sp3 orbital. Okay, there is no px, py, pz or s orbital. We will be calling all the orbitals as sp3, 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 because as I said, after the hybridization, all the orbitals will be gaining equal energy. It will be having equal shape. So it is all identical, same. That is the reason we will be calling it as sp3, 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 sp3. Why it is called as sp3? 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals are entering into what? Hybridization. Entering into hybridization process. That is the reason it is called as sp3 hybridization. If I say sp2, hybridization is what? 1 s orbitals and 2 p orbitals are entering into hybridization. Here what we have observed that 1 s orbital and all the 3 orbitals are entering into hybridization. That is the reason we will be calling it as sp3 hybridization, and that orbitals are called as sp3 hybrid orbitals. So this is sp3 hybrid orbital, all these sp3 hybrid orbitals. Understood? Now here, so we have got 4 unpaired hybridized orbital. Now this 4 unpaired hybridized orbital will share its electron with what? It requires how many? Here one orbital requires how many electrons each? 1 electron is there. As I said, each orbital maximum number of electrons how many? 2. So it requires one electron within each orbital. What it will do? It will make bonding with such element which has what which required or which shares 1 electron. Means what? Monovalent element. Understood? So this carbon will try to make bonding with what type of element? Monovalent element. Valent means what? One, which contain only one, which contain one electron, which requires, which shares that electron. What is that element? If you take hydrogen, what is the atomic number of hydrogen? 1. What is the atomic configuration? 1s1. But as we have seen that for first shell, maximum how many numbers it required? 2 electrons are required, but it requires only 1 electron. So it is called as monovalent. So what it will do? Hydrogen will share its electron with the carbon, and carbon will share its electron with the hydrogen. In that way, it is making what? Methane molecule. So what we have seen here, see, keep writing right. This is what here, 1 electron of hydrogen and 1 electron of carbon is what? Sharing its electron to form what? Bonding with the 4 hydrogen atom. Now here, how it is making the bond? Understood this one, how it is hybridization is taking place. Now as I said, here carbon contains how many hybridized orbitals? 4 hybridized orbitals. How many electrons are in it? 1 unpaired electrons in each orbital. These 4 hybridized orbitals, which contain 1 unpaired electron, will share its electron with what? With 4 hydrogen atoms, which contain 1 unpaired electron. In that way, sharing of electron takes place. Sharing of electron takes place and it makes a bonding. Now here if you observe the bonding, it will show, as I said, what is the definition of hybridization? Intermixing and reshuffling of orbitals such that the electrons will be at a large distance. Because why is it a large distance? Such that no repulsion takes place between the electrons. So if you observe the shape of the methane, it will be like this. Actual shape. Okay, it will be in that way. Means what if you draw it in this way, if you observe the angle, it will be 109 degrees 28 minutes. Same thing, if you observe the angle of every time, it is a 3-dimensional shape. If you observe, it is a 3 minutes for first hydrogen, it will be like this, and like this, like this, and like this. It will be a 3-dimensional. It is called as what? It is called as tetrahedron. It will form a tetrahedron shape such that there will be a minimum repulsion between the electrons. In such a way, it will make the shape. Okay, so sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, what is that? All the 4 orbitals undergo hybridization. All the 4 means what? 1 s orbitals and 3 p orbitals will go for hybridization. So all the 4 hybridized orbitals will make bonding with the 4 hydrogen atoms to form what? sp3 bonding. Now here, it contains what orbital? Hydrogen and what orbital? S orbital. Here also S orbital, S orbital. And carbon contains what? 4 sp3 orbitals. Now here, one more important point, that there are 2 types of bonding in covalent bond. What is that? One is sigma bond. Sigma bond. It is called as sigma bond. Sigma bond. Other one is pi bond. Pi bond. Okay. Now here what we can observe, that carbon will be making 4 sigma bonds, sigma sp3 s sigma bond with the hydrogen atom. Now this is sp3 s sigma bond, sp3 s sigma bond, sp3 s sigma bond, sp3 and s sigma bond. Now what is called as sigma bond? If the bonding is made between the internuclear axis of an atom. Here carbon nucleus present at the center, here also nucleus is there. If the bonding is made between the nucleus of an atom, that is called the bonding of internucleus of an atom is called as sigma bond. If the bonding is made between the nucleus of 2 atoms, then it is called as sigma bond. Sigma bond are strong bond. So here, how many sigma bonds we can observe? Here 4 sp3 s sigma bonds are formed. Understood what is this sp3s? sp3 is what? One sp3 of carbon atom and 1 s orbital of hydrogen atom. 1 sp3 orbital of carbon atom, 1 s orbital of hydrogen. In that way, 4 sp3s sigma bonds are formed in what? sp3 hybridization. What is that example? It is methane. What is the shape of sp3 hybridization process orbital name? This is what tetrahedron. What is the bond angle? It is 109 degrees 28 minutes. Understood sp3 hybridization. Next one is sp2 hybridization. Next one is what? sp2 hybridization. Now what is meant by sp2 hybridization? As the before a few minutes back I told, sp3 means what? One s orbital and 3 p orbital. sp2 means what? One s orbital and 2 p orbital. If you see the ground state, now again ground state. These are 2s and these are what? 2p. This is what? ps, py, pz. Before, what is that? It is what? Before the bonding time. If you go for the excitation and during the bonding time, first what will happen? Electron pairing of electrons will take, sorry, the promotion of electron will take place. After that, the hybridization process takes place. That's what I will be drawing here. Excited state. Here, what is that? sp2 hybridization means what? One s orbital and 2 p orbital. This is what? This is our pz. This is s. And these are P, this is Px and Py. So here hybridization is taken place with one s orbital and 2 p orbitals, leaving behind one unhybridized orbital. Okay, that is what pz orbital. That is the reason one s is there, 2 p's are there. That is what is called as sp2 hybridization. So here hybridization taking place one s orbital and 2 p orbital. That is called as sp2 hybridization, leaving behind one unhybridized orbital. So here after hybridization is called as what? sp2, sp2, sp2. Okay. Now what is the example for this one? It is called as ethene. Ethene or ethylene. Chemical formula is what? C2H4. If you observe the shape, now if you observe this one, what is that? C2H4. Now, as the name says, sp2 hybridization is what? Only 3 orbitals undergoes what? Hybridization. Only 3 or 1 s orbital and 2 p orbitals. One orbital is unhybridized orbital. Now this, whatever the hybridized orbitals are there, those hybridized orbitals will go for sigma bonding. Understood what I am saying? Whatever the hybridized orbitals are there, those hybridized orbitals will go for sigma bonding. Whatever the unhybridized orbitals are there, that will go for pi bonding. Pi bonding. Now here, as I said, one sp3 orbital will make a bonding in what? We will make a bonding with again another carbon atom. And here it is also sp3. sp3 sigma bond. Okay. And remaining one sp3 over. Now remaining 2 sp3 orbitals are there. Now here one sp3 orbital of carbon atom with s orbital of hydrogen atom. So here one sigma bond. Okay. sp3 orbital of one carbon atom will make a bonding with s orbital of another hydrogen atom. So how many sigma bonds are formed here? Here we can observe 3 sigma bond. What are the 3 sigma bonds? sp3, yes, bonding is taking place. sp3 is for what? Hybridized orbitals of carbon. S is what? Orbital of hydrogen. 2 hydrogen will make a bond with sp3 bonding with hybridized orbitals of carbon. Now, whatever the unhybridized orbital is there, that will make a bonding laterally on the carbon to carbon. Laterally means what? Sidewise. I will draw it here. This is our carbon, this is our carbon. As I said, this is sp4, what is that? sp3 hybridized orbital. Now what will happen? One sp3 orbital of carbon atom will make a bond with sp3 orbital of hydrogen carbon, which is called as sp3 sigma bond. sp3 sigma bond. Now again one more is there. Now here one hydrogen atom, here one hydrogen atom. Over, so it is what? sp3s, sp3s, hydrogen. One is left behind. What is that? Here also one hydrogen atom, here also one hydrogen atom. What is left behind? That will make a lateral bonding. That will make a lateral bonding. Okay. Now here, understood everyone, that will make a lateral bonding, that is called as pi bond. Pi bond or weak bond. Which bond? Pi bond means which orbital will go for pi bonding? Unhybridized orbital will go for pi bond. That is the reason we have drawn double bond. So in the double bond, what we can say, in the double bond, one will be sigma bond, other one will be a pi bond. Okay, understood? One will be a sigma bond, other one will be a pi bond. So how many sigma bonds or how many pi bonds are present in it? Here we can see the sp2 hybridization. I have written sp3, it is sp2. In sp2 hybridization, how many sigma bonds and how many pi bonds are formed? Here, how many? 3 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond is formed. How this 1 pi bond got? As it contains one hybridized or unhybridized orbital is there, that unhybridized orbital will go for pi bonding. Pi bonds are weak bonds, sigma bonds are strong bonds. That is about, if you see the structure, shape, it is what it is, trigonal planar. It is the shape of the structure is what? Trigonal planar. If you see the bond angle, it will be 120 degrees. There will be the angle between the orbitals will be how many? 120 degrees. That is about sp2 hybridization. Okay, let's see the next one. Last one, sp hybridization. sp hybridization. What is this sp hybridization? As I said, if you see the ground state here, ground state, this 2s and this is our 2p, ps, py, pz. Think that chromosomal conversion has taken place during the bonding time. Now during the hybridization, as it is sp hybridization, sp is what? One s orbital and one p orbital will go for hybridization. So what I can write here? One s and one p. So here s orbital and this is p orbital. These are p's. Remaining two are there. Remaining two orbitals are, what is that? Py and pz. This Py and Pz will be what? It will be unhybridized orbital. So this, that is here, among the 4 orbitals, 2 orbitals will go for hybridization, 2 orbitals will be what? Unhybridized. So whatever the orbital will go for hybridization, it is called as hybridized orbitals. Here, what is the hybridized orbital present? It is what? Sp hybridized orbitals. Sp hybridized, because one s orbital and one p orbital will go for hybridization. Now, as I said, since it contains 2 what is a hybridized orbital, how many sigma bond it can make? 2 sigma bond. Since it contains 2 unhybridized orbitals, how many pi bonds it can make? 2 pi bonds it can make. What is the example you can take here? You can take as ethine. Ethine, it is also called as acetylene. Acetylene. What is the structure here? Since it contains 2 pi bonds, 1 pi bond, 2 pi bond and 1 sigma bond. Okay, this is the structure. Okay, if you observe here, how many hybridized orbitals are there? 2 hybridized orbitals. 2 hybridized orbitals are 2 sigma bond. Now here, 1 sp. So, one carbon, one orbital, sp orbital, one carbon will make a sigma bond with sp orbital of another carbon atom. So, one sigma bond is over. One more sp orbital is there. That sp orbital will make a bond with what? S orbital of hydrogen. So, here, 2 sigma bonds. Whatever the unhybridized orbitals are there, that will go for what? That will go for pi bonding, lateral bonding, okay, or sidewise bonding. So here in the sp hybridization, how many sigma bonds or how many pi bonds are there? 2 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds are there. What is the example of ethine or acetylene? What is the shape? It is linear shape. Linear shape. Okay. What is the bond angle? Bond angle will be 180 degrees. Bond angle will be 180 degrees. Okay. Now what is the length of the carbon to carbon sp hybridization? It will be 1.20 angstroms. 1.20 angstrom. It is for sp. It is for sp2. What is the bond length? It will be 1.34 angstrom. If it is for sp3, what will be the bond length between carbon to carbon? It will be 1.54 angstroms. Okay, so bond length will be 1.20 for what? sp hybridized orbital, sp hybridization bonding. For sp2 it is 1.34, for sp3 it is what? 1.5. Bond length means what? The distance between the nucleus of two carbon atoms go for bonding. That is called as bond length, length of the bond made by the two atoms. So bond length of the for sp hybridization orbitals is what? 1.20. For sp2 it is 1.34. For sp3 it is what? 1.54. With this I have completed the hybridization concept. Again we will be seeing the same hybridization concept when we will be discussing in the chemical bonding chapter. I hope everyone understood this concept about hybridization very clearly. So those who have liked my video, please share the video with your friends, and also please below the video you can observe a subscription button. You click that subscription button, and also beside one bell icon will be there. Click on that. Then only you will be getting the notification whenever I upload a video. So have a good day. Thank you.